Okay, a very warm good afternoon to all of you. It's a pleasure to be welcoming all of you to this apprenticeship session. So, as many of you may not be aware, Yuva is basically a team and an organization started by UNICEF. And we basically work to connect young people with different kind of learning and employment related opportunities. And we realize that apprenticeship is one way through which we can connect young people with a lot of future job related opportunities. So month on month, we have been conducting these apprenticeship awareness sessions. We have a lot of partners who have come together to conduct these sessions with us. So as you can see on the screen, these are all our partners who have supported us in this program. So every month we do these sessions and we welcome you to learn more about apprenticeship, what are its benefits, how you should apply to the apprenticeship programs, etc. We look forward to this session. So with this, Satya, I welcome you to start the session, please.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti. Thank you very much. So welcome all participants. So I will start with a quick introduction about apprenticeship, and I will run through a detailed view about that. And then I will welcome Mr. Siddharth, who will take through the different schemes and apprenticeship embedded degree programs and all about apprenticeship. So I will invite Mr. Siddharth later on. So what is apprenticeship? If we go by definition, it's a program while a student gets an opportunity to earn while learning, right? So it's an on-the-job training system in an industry where the student will be working in that industry, in that subfloor or in an organization, and at the same time, he or she will be also able to earn a stipend during that particular period. That is what is apprenticeship about. When you talk about how many students are aware about this apprenticeship or apprenticeship schemes or different programs, so it's only, if you see, only 30% of students know about it. So this number is based on the students who have registered today for this session to participate. So from that number, it has come that 69% of students are not aware about this apprenticeship. It means there is a need of creating awareness, right? So before we go into detail, let us quickly understand what are the differences between apprenticeship and internship. Okay, so apprenticeship, it involves a formal contract for a specific time period ranging from 6 months to 36 months. Okay, and government is having a stake in this program. Government encourage industries, government encourage students for this program. Whereas if we look at internship, it's a 1 month to 3 month program. Again, there is no mandatory thing that, or there is not a formal contract between a student and a company. Whereas when you talk about apprenticeship, there will be a formal contract. So even there are some apprenticeship schemes, there will be a contract between the company where the student is working, and there can be an university also and the student. So there will be all three parties, getting into a contract to do this apprenticeship. So it goes through a structured training plan. So every company who are engaging apprentices, they will have a module specific structure design, how this program will be taken through, how the students will be going through step-by-step approach in this particular apprenticeship schemes. Whereas internship may not involve those kind of structure, okay, though it also provides a learning platform. However, it may not involve a defined structure for that particular thing. And apprenticeship is always, a paid thing. I mean, a student who is pursuing an apprenticeship will be definitely given a stipend by the company. There is no doubt about that. Whereas in case of internship, it may or it may not be. So these are the basic differences between apprenticeship and internship. Okay. And when we move to the what is this and how this started and all. So Government of India has, started this initiative way back in 1961, the Apprenticeship Act, right? To encourage the industries to enroll students for participating in the apprenticeship program and to regulate the promote the apprenticeship training industry, because there are several companies who have enough infrastructure, but they may not be engaging so much of students in their companies for this training purpose, right? So to regulate and promote those kind of training things and to utilize the facilities which are available in the industries, right? To meet their demands from a time to time. And this apprenticeship opportunity, it helps the students through a valuable pathway to a candidate from education towards employment. So it's the transition period between the education and the employment. It's the transition period. This apprenticeship is nothing but a transition period. So it helps in that way. And from the industry perspective, it helps in creating a pipeline of continuous flow of resources, trained resources to their organization, so that the company can manage their attrition and all these things well, right? And there are some statistical numbers. If we look at from FY 18 and 19, we had only 25,000 apprentices engaged in that particular year. Whereas if we see last year, that is FY 21 and 22, we have almost 5,21,000. However, country actually needs more than 10 lakh apprentices per year. So we have a long way to go, right? And as of now, the top sectors where the apprentices are engaged, if you see here, automotive, retail, IT and IT enablement services, power and electronics, these are the top sectors where the industries are looking for apprentices, or apprentices are engaged in these sectors from the numbers that is available with us. And the states which are majorly engaging apprentices, number one is Maharashtra, Gujarat, then Haryana, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. Now, again, it is from the graph that you are seeing in my screen. These are the data which is taken from the students, or the number of students who have registered for this program today. So we have, these many people, 70% of people who are not aware of apprenticeship, and then who is even knowing this. Almost 88% of students are not registered into the portal. Only 11% are registered. So it means we need to, first of all, create the awareness among the students. So students should be knowing what the apprenticeship is all about, and they should be registered into the portal which are available. And these are the portals we have for National Apprentice Promotion Scheme and National Apprentice Training Scheme. The details will be shared by Siddharth going forward. And a new initiative has been started recently in the month of June by Government of India, that is called as Prime Minister National Apprenticeship Mela. So that is happening across the country in government ITIs every second Monday of each month. Every second Monday of each month in the government ITIs. It has been started from June. The first session was in 11 June, and then we had in July. And now again coming, I think August second Monday, we will have the program. So even if you see the graphs here, from the ITI perspective, we can see a lot of ITI students are aware about it. Maybe because it is happening in ITIs, but if we see the other streams, there the awareness level is very low. So this also need to be improved. So everybody should know about it. Every student should participate. Whoever is interested to do the apprenticeship promotion, apprenticeship program, they should participate in this, right? There is a web portal link mentioned here, www.apprenticeshipindia.gov.in. You can find the details about this apprentice mela every month. Okay. There are some benefits for doing apprenticeship for students. Okay, we have tried to list down some top 7 benefits, top 8 benefits, right? The one thing is the student will get the first-hand knowledge of industry, that how it is working. So we might be watching several YouTube channels or some movies and all, that how the industry works and all, but by doing an apprenticeship, the student will get a live environment to work, how it works. Okay, and then they will be able to develop the industry relevant skills, because the companies who will engage as apprentices, they will be definitely give training which they are looking for. It is not what me as a student looking for, but it is what the industry is looking for. So it means the apprentice will get an opportunity to get trained in the relevant skill which are required by the company, right? And then the third thing is about, also will get an opportunity to do hands-on. So in case of internship, as I explained in the earlier slide, there may not be 100% feasibility of doing hands-on work. You might be taken for a site visit, or being guided for a particular departmental tour, or what kind of things are being done. But here in apprenticeship, you will get a hands-on experience by doing in your work, using your work, using your hand, right? So you will get a real world experience with latest technology. And of course, when you are doing this apprenticeship, you are also getting a stipend. It is mandatory for the companies to give you stipend, right? So there is no doubt about that. And once you are finishing your apprenticeship, you become job ready. Okay, you might continue in the same organization, you may not continue, or you might be going for different organization. But by spending these 6 months to 36 months or 12 months, whatever the industry has given training to you, you become job ready for the market. And there are some programs which will be coming later in the slides, called as Bachelor of Vocational BVOC program. And also there is a program called as Apprenticeship Embedded Degree programs. So those kind of programs also help the students, especially for the 12th pass students, or even ITI students, to pursue the education in parallel to the apprenticeship. So at the end of the 3 years, they will be having a degree with them, they will have the work experience, and of course they are learning as well as earning. Okay, and so it might lead towards a full-time job opportunity. And of course, when you work in the company, you work in the organization, you work with different people in the industry, the skill like articulation skill, like how do we share the problems, how do we share the challenges, how do we talk about the issues, right? So those articulation skills, and then how do we present ourselves, how do we communicate to our seniors or the juniors or the colleagues in the company. So all these kind of skills will be developed over the period of time. So these are the specific and top advantages for the students. Now with this, I finished the introduction part, and I am inviting Mr. Siddharth from FunFast. It is a third-party aggregator organization, and Mr. Siddharth is representing the organization today to help us guiding through the different schemes, degree apprenticeship program, BVOC programs and all. So welcome, Mr. Siddharth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Siddharth Kakkar. I head strategy for FunFirst Group. Right? I'll straight away get on with the presentation so that I don't take much of your time. See, apprenticeship is primarily managed taking into consideration both the aspects, the demand side and the supply. The demand is primarily the industry requirement for skilled manpower, and the supply is primarily our youth, you people who are doing various courses and who want to pick up a job, get into the industry, right? So apprenticeship primarily merges the both. It gives you a buffer period where you get introduced to the industry, you get to know the norms, you start working over there, but you are not full-fledged into it, right? It is kind of your buffer period where you learn various aspects of the industry and job. Yeah. Mr. Mishra, next slide, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so apprenticeship schemes are primarily divided into two modes. One is NAPS, which covers the designated trades. NAPS in itself has two categories. Category 1 is which is run by DGT. These courses are approved and created by one of the DGT organizations. We call it CSTRI, that is based out of Calcutta. So the category 1 courses are primarily run at IT institutes which you would have heard of. So these institutes could be government institutes or private institutes. Apart from that, the designated trades, the category 1 trades are also run at a few organizations under Flexi MOU, right? The category 2 are the courses which are created by NSDC, right? So these courses are the optional courses run by NSDC and its partners, right? NATS, which is the second part of it, is primarily run by board, which is Board of apprenticeship training. So both takes care, rather NATS takes care of courses for graduates, diploma holders, engineers, BCom, BC, any graduate can be covered over there. Hmm. Even the polytechnic students, right? In terms of minimum stipend, when we look at it, uh, just a second, sir. When we look at the stipend, that as Misha sir has said, it is stipulated for each of the category in apprenticeship. So when we look at it for graduates, it has been designated as 9,000 rupees. Diploma holders 8,000. Vocational 12th of vocational courses is 7,000. Same with ITI pass students. 12th pass students also get 7,000. 10, 6,000, and students who've done or youth who've done 5th to 9th get a stipulated stipend during their apprenticeship of 5,000 rupees. So it could be higher than that, but this is the minimum stipend which you get during the period. Right? Yeah. Also, apart from that, the government has also stipulated what hike the student will get in the subsequent year. So first year, this is the stipend. The second year, they'll get a hike of 10%, and the third year, they'll get a hike of 15% in their stipend. Yeah, this is structure of what we call NATS training, or the graduate apprenticeship training. So we've got graduate apprentices in this, which are primarily the engineering graduates or the general graduates who've done their 3-year or 4-year programs. Then there are the technician apprentices. So technician apprentices will be those who've done their diploma in engineering or diploma in non-engineering courses, right? So diploma would be technician apprentices, and students who completed the graduation or engineering would come into graduate apprentices. Misha sir?
Yeah, next slide.
Yeah. Similarly, for NAPS, when we look at it, the trade apprentices would include ITI 10+2 students and the students who dropped out or have completed 5th to 10th class, right? So ITI students would, ITI and 10+2 students who primarily do NSDC or DGT courses would be under designated trades or optional trades. Similarly, we've got technician apprentices in that. These technician apprentices would be 10+2 in vocational streams. So if you would know, there are 5 states where we've got vocational schools running through. Maharashtra is one of them. Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, these 3 I remember. There are 2 more states where we've got vocational schools running through for 10+2, right? So these would be covered under technician apprentices in NAPS.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a basic difference between designated trades and optional trades. So designated trades would be implemented through DGT. The trade occupations would be notified by the central government, right? When we look at the optional trades, on the other hand, they would be run by NSDC. This is, please note, this entire thing is under NAPS, right? NAPS.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So under NAPS, all the trade occupations would be certified or notified by the central government through DGT, right? And when it comes to optional trades, all the trades would be notified by the respective sector skill council under NSDC, right? So NSDC has various sector skill councils for each of the different sectors. So something like for electronics, they've got electronic sector skill council. For telecom, they've got a telecom sector skill council. So all of these sector skill councils would notify or create courses for their particular sectors, right? Uh, for the designated trades, when we look at it, they are predominantly technical and traditional occupations are covered over there. When you look at the optional trades, they will be, they can be technical, but they also cover non-technical trades, right?
Correct.
Yeah. As I earlier said, the courses are designed and created by Central Staff Training Research Institute, CSTRI from West Bengal. And for the optional trades, the courses are created by the sector skill councils. Okay. Switching over to next slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to look at who can join OJT directly under optional trade, right? So under optional trade, any ITI pass out student can join in. He could be from any trade. They can join over there. Then diploma or degree completed students can join over there. Then students who've done short-term skill certificate programs through any of the NSDC schemes. It could be PMKK, PMKVY, DDU-GKY, NULM. All of these students could join the optional trade NAPS scheme, right? Even students who are pursuing degree and diploma can also join the NAPS program under optional trades.
Right. Yes, Mr. Siddharth. So we will move towards the apprenticeship embedded degree program. Yeah.
Right. So let's go through what are apprenticeship embedded degree programs. Right? So when we look at it, UGC came out with a detailed guideline for apprenticeship degree programs on in July 2020, which permitted universities to have apprenticeship in general degree programs, right? So that the student can be initiated into the job and in the future career they want to pursue. They can be initiated even before they start their formal careers, right? Okay. When we look at apprenticeship embedded degree programs, so we again find that the awareness about such programs is very low. Only about 25% of the students know about such courses, right? Know about that their degrees, they can do degree programs which are embedded, wherein they can have apprenticeship along with their course. Right? Mr. Misha, I'll skip to the next slide. Yeah. So when we look at the difference between a traditional undergraduate program and an apprenticeship embedded program, we find some stark differences. See, when you look at it, a traditional curriculum would primarily be theory based, plus some part of experimentation, right? Whereas when you come into the embedded programs, they have theory. The student also goes through actual application of what he's learned in the classrooms at the industry premises, right? So this has theory and actual application, right? So wherever we all would have heard. See, I'll cite a very good example. A friend of mine, he's an engineer, right? Engineer from a top college. But when it comes to actual implementation, they would not know, right? If they've not done something by their own hands, they would not be able to implement it across, right? If you ask an engineer to say, do the wiring for a room, he would not be able to do it, right? Because he knows the theory, how it has to be done, but he cannot implement it. So that is why that actual implementation or being having done the task by yourself is very important, which comes through in the embedded program. One more important thing is, during the traditional programs, the student has no work experience. So whatever work experience they gain is after picking up a job once they have completed the course. Whereas in this program, they continue to do their on-the-job training along with their course, or apprenticeship along with their course, right? Because of which, once they pass out, they will have an experience and an experience certificate, right? For that, for the period of the course duration, right? Similarly, when you look at it, uh, in terms of employability, the students who've done a embedded program will have much better employability, more so because they have been in the industry, they have that experience, and they have that know-how on how things are actually to be implemented, right? In terms of flexibility of the program, when we look at it, traditional programs have been pretty stringent in their delivery with fixed timelines for classes and everything. Whereas the embedded programs are very much flexible because they need to incorporate the industry requirement too, right? So more so, the embedded programs run on a face-to-face class basis. They've online, they've got online classes. You have on-the-job training. So everything, every option is taken into account in this. Mr. Mishra, next slide, please.
Yeah.
So as I earlier said, these embedded programs could be a degree, a diploma program, or an advanced diploma program from any of the UGC recognized universities. The student, after completing this program, would get an apprenticeship completion certificate from the from the industry, right? uh, Students would have their classes either at the campus of the university or at the or they can have their classes even on the site of the industry where they are doing their on the job training, right? More importantly, the students can earn their own course fees, or rather much more, during this period through their stipend. So what happens is, while working, while doing their OJT, the student earns a stipend. This stipend enables the student to pay their own fees, earn their own pocket money, and in many cases, what we've seen is students also support their family from the stipend. There's no, when we look at the stipend limitation, it is primarily as you keep on learning, your stipend keeps on increasing during this entire period. So if we look at some of the rather I'll cover it when we go in for the detailed programs with the example. So I'll tell you how the stipend progresses over the years, right? So one more important thing is, skill loans are also available for these kind of courses, right? They have been approved by most of the banks and NBFCs, right? Now, from an industry point of view, when we look at the embedded programs, so the question comes in, why should industry support it? So for industry, there are two major reasons for it. First, students who are enrolled in these courses, they have a much reduced attrition. So very few students will leave the program and the on-the-job training during the period. So that's why for the industry, the attrition rate is much lower. And the second thing is these students are actively trained in the same field where they're doing their on-the-job training. So they have better grasp of the subject. More so when they pass out, they are a very say potent data or potent group which the company can hire as per the requirement, right? These degrees are accepted all through, even in government jobs, private jobs. There's no issue in acceptance of these degrees, right? Yeah. So the 2000 NEP framework looks for a unified credit framework wherein all courses can have say multiple entry, multiple exit formats. You could switch from one course to another, retaining the credits from that course to the another course, right? More so, it also enables or rather helps the student in doing dual degree. Mr. Mishra, next slide, please.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we look at OJT in the embedded programs, or we call them types of embedded programs itself. So there are four major types of programs, right? One is the Flexi MOU ITI programs. So under these programs, the student does their ITI course, 2-year ITI course, from that particular industry partner which has tied up and done their MOU with the government or the DGT, right? I'll take one more minute to explain how does Flexi MOU work and why does it work, right? See, basically, we all have heard about ITI courses running in particular institute, right? But there are some industry partners who have tied up with DGT to run these courses within their premises, right? And so the question is, how and why has DGT allowed them to do that? Primarily, what happens is when an industry partner goes to DGT saying that any student or rather the youth who are being trained in ITIs do not have the complete skills required for their particular industry. So in such a case, DGT asks the industry partner to create a course by themselves and run it across. Just a second, mera charger le please. So the DGT asks the industry partner to run that course by themselves. DGT does the examination and the certification of these candidates, right? And the industry partner runs this course. When we look at it, there are around 12 to 13 partners only across the country till now who have taken up this Flexi MOU program along with DGT. Just give me a second. Misha sir, can you just take it on for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So yeah, so as Mr. Siddharth explained, so we have 4 types of categories in this apprenticeship embedded programs. So one is Flexi IT, what he was explaining. So we have also diploma in similar model. Some of the companies are also experimenting with that. Like in Hyderabad, we have one company called Alpla. So they are taking students for diploma, and while they're working with them, they are also engaging them in the work. They're also pursuing the diploma. And similarly, Mr. Siddharth will talk about some of the courses that FunFast is doing for BVOC, Bachelor of Vocation. Okay, so this is again, it's a graduation degree, but there are some vocational courses like manufacturing services, automobile, like that. We will discuss in detail. And then we have apprenticeship embedded degree program. So these are programs like we have BBA. Similarly, we have BBA retailing apprenticeship embedded degree program. We have BBA hotel management, BBA hospitality management, BSc automotive. So these are all apprenticeship embedded programs, which means those 3 years, the student will be working in that particular company and also pursuing this course. So the mode of duration of the study time and the working time will be agreed between the company and the university. Maybe the students can work for 5 days a week and 2 days they can study in the university, or every day they might be spending, let's say, 6 hours in the workshop and 2 hours they will be doing the study. So that's a model which normally being agreed upon by the university and the industry. So these are the different types of apprenticeship, embedded degree programs. Now, if we move forward, just to give an example, the costing part, how much the student may need to spend to pursue this kind of apprenticeship embedded degree program. So it's a sample, it is not actual, it's a sample representation just to have a knowledge about it. So if you take an example of BBA retailing, okay, normally the tuition fee is same when we see you do a normal BBA degree from any of the university, and when you do the BBA retail operation from any of the university like Skill University of Medhavi or Team Lease or maybe FunFast, right? So the tuition fee almost remains same between 1.4 to 1.6 lakh in the 3 years, right? Whereas you'll be getting a stipend of 10,000, minimum 10,000 per month. So it means you're getting 3.6 lakh in 3 years. So after paying back your tuition fee, still you will be able to have your 2.1 lakhs in your kitty. So this is an analysis just to give an idea that how much expensive or what is the cost benefit to particular this program. Okay. So now we'll come to this Bachelor of Vocational Study, where Mr. Siddharth will take us through what is the course all about and how it works. What are the industry that they have tie up with, where they are enrolling the students, okay, and what are the university or the institute they are tying up with, because this kind of programs will have always 3 parties. One is the student, one is the industry, and one is the university, because industry will give you the work, university will give you the certification or the degree, and then the student who will be doing all these things. Okay, so hand over to you, Mr. Siddharth.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra. Thank you. So students, now we come to the BVOC program. See, before I get into what are the BVOC programs, how they run, and the details of it, I like to highlight on how we work. Right? We at FunFirst, what we do, what is our aim? See, what we do is we get in touch with our students. First, we enroll them into foundational courses. Right? These courses could be some short-term programs, say 2 months to 6-month programs, wherein we apprise them of various sectors, right? So that the student or the youth can choose where he wants to work, right? Plus, they get a basic understanding of their future career, right? From there, we take these students to the integrated programs, the work integrated programs, right? Now, the foundational courses are from level 3, 4, rather 2 to 4 level, NSQF level 2 to NSQF level 4 are the foundational courses, right? In case the student needs to pursue class 12 or have to complete class 12 to get into the work integrated program, so we support the students in getting the completing their class 12 through NIUS, right? Now these students are then enrolled into work integrated programs, primarily or flexi
Siddharth,
MOU programs.
Siddharth, I think
Right?
we,
So needs
Siddharth,
to be class 12.
Siddharth,
Yeah,
I think your
yeah, Mr.
voice
Sir.
is breaking down. Just check one internet, please. Is it fine? Sometimes the voice is going down.
Okay.
Yeah. Please carry on. Yeah.
Is it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
5, 6, and 7. NSQF level 5, 6, and 7. Level 5 for the first year, level 6 for the second year, and level 7 for the third year. Right? So BVOC courses, like any other graduation program, would be a 3-year program. Our students go through these courses, and then we get them employed in the industry. Right? So they work for another 2 to 4 years in the industry before we take them to the next level. So 3 years of experience during their graduation, plus 2 to 4 years of additional experience which they have post that 6 to 7 years of experience. We take these students for various other programs, say which could be further skill development or enhancement, international placements, entrepreneurship, so those kind of things, or rather picking up jobs or joining various industries or programs for as a trainer. So these three major areas: international placement, entrepreneurship, and becoming a trainer. We wait for the candidate, we work with them for 5 to 7 years, and then we move them on into those fields. So our primary objective in this entire 6 to 7 years of intervention is to take that student, take that youth who is class 8 to 12 pass, groom them, work with them, and take them to a salary level of approximately 3.6 to 4 lakh per month. Oh, sorry, per annum, right? Which would mean around 30 to 35,000 per month. So that is a reasonable level. After this level, you'll continue to grow within your organization by yourself, right? And at this 30 to 35,000 per month salary level, you'll be able to sustain your household pretty well, right? So that is the idea. That is how we work, Misha sir. Mr. Misha?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So for the BVOC programs, we work with two universities, right? One is TDU, Transdisciplinary University, which is based out of Bangalore and operates throughout Karnataka. Hmm. Apart from that, we work with Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TIS, on BVOC programs. So TIS, with TIS, we work across the country and across verticals. So TIS has 16 verticals. The names of the same have been given over here. So electronics, BFSI, automotive, agriculture, healthcare, ITES, media and entertainment, retail management. So these 16 sectors, in these 16 sectors, we've got 34 BVOC courses, right, operating across. And there are multiple SKPs, or skill knowledge partners, or industry partners, what we call, right? So around 340 industry partners are associated with this for running of these courses, right? These courses are run across the country as per the availability of the industry partner, right? When we look at it, when a student joins these programs, so when he completes his first year, he gets a diploma. Hmm. On completion of the second year, the student gets an advanced diploma, and on completion of the third year, the student will get their BVOC degree. Now, one thing which needs to be noted is BVOC programs have a compulsory part of OJT as a compulsory part of their curriculum. So there are marks for their on-the-job training also, which the industry partner will assign to them, right, as per their performance during their OJT. So this ensures that the on-the-job training is genuinely and thoroughly followed by the student, by the TPA university and the industry partner, right? So we can be very sure of whichever student has done their BVOC, so they would genuinely have worked with the industry and would have gained experience and learning over there, right? So if you look at the most prominent courses which we run along with this, we've got BVOC in electronic manufacturing services. Then we've got BVOC in refrigeration and air conditioning, BVOC in office automation devices. This particular course covers, all electronic gadgets in a office space. So it would cover IT hardware. It would cover security systems, say fire alarm, burglar alarm, and it will also cover access devices, right? So all these are covered in this particular program. And the fourth most prominent course is on automobile. So it could be automobile servicing or automobile manufacturing, right? These are the major companies with whom we work on a day-to-day basis for running these programs, primarily Lava, Voltas, Whirlpool, Reliance Rescue, Salcom, Panasonic, Tech Mahindra. So these are the companies with whom we work with. Apart from that, there are multiple other companies with which TIS is associated with to run these courses.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is all about BVOC programs.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Siddharth.
Yeah.
So we will see some examples of this apprenticeship embedded degree program and the structure. So this is one example of BBA retailing. So when we say BBA retailing, here the participant gets an opportunity to work in that particular company. So this particular program is being run by Medhavi Skill University in collaboration with Reliance Retail, Pantaloons and Trends, right? It means the students will be working here when they are also getting the certificates, right? When they are getting the education also. So both the things. And second example is about BSc in hospitality and hotel management, right? So here you can see the collaboration that this particular university is having with IHG group of hotels. So there are so many hotels in this particular group, and the students who can start as a training steward here and then become a steward or a training supervisor. So these are the specialization areas where the student can participate in the program. And this right hand side you can see the hierarchy, how the student by joining as a trainee, as an apprenticeship, she or he can move up the ladder, right? And some examples, I mean, if somebody is interested, even they can they can log into these portals. They can watch the YouTube for this particular course. Okay. They also mentioned about how much is the course fee per year and what is the qualification and where they will be working. So all the details you will be able to find it. Similarly, a third example is about BSc Mechatronics. As Siddharth was explaining about different NSQF levels, that is nothing but National Skill Qualification Framework. Those frameworks has been defined to bring alignment with our current education system. Like we have intermediate, then we have BA or graduate, then we have postgraduate, right? So similarly, to bring alignment, these levels has been defined. So over a period of semester 1, that will be in NSQF level 4, and similarly semester the progress will happen. So how many, and this particular course is being delivered by Team Skill University. So they have BSc Mechatronics, BSc Automotive, Electronics, and BBA Retailing. right? So these are some of the examples that we have. And this is how the normal, student life cycle will happen. So they will be getting admitted to particular course, and also they will be, enrolling into a particular industry. So there they will have a formal contract, and the learning environment will be created by agreeing with the university and the industry that how many hours or how many days in a week the students will be studying, maybe through a distance learning mode, or there might be an arrangement in the industry itself. There will be some designated classroom programs where the industry and where the university people can come and teach the students. So those kind of arrangements will be done, and there will be examination held by the industry from the technical perspective, and the sector skill council and the university to qualify from the theoretical perspective, that how the students is performing with respect to practical and also with respect to theory. So this is how the student life cycle go on. Now I will invite Mr. Manoj Pathak. He is the Human Resource Manager in Epix Gas. So in their company, they're engaging several apprentices. So let us hear some of the experience Mr. Manoj would like to share for a few minutes, that how his experience is all about engaging the apprentices. Manoj?
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you
please.
want me to share video?
Yeah. It's your wish. You can share, you can talk.
Okay. So, hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. We are all to see you.
Okay. Yes. So, basically, we are a domestic BPO, okay, based at Mumbai. And about my company, we have around 7 centers across Pan India. Okay. And we have clients like in BFSI, in telecom, as well as in healthcare. Okay, so we have around 3,300 plus employees, those who are telecallers plus support staff. And amongst 3,300, we have around 500 plus apprenticeship.
Great.
Okay, yes. So these employees are sitting at in Mumbai as well as in Hyderabad. Okay, so those are apprenticeship, and basically they are telecallers. They work Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday based on their rotation shift. Okay, and they have such type of good experience. Hello.
Yeah, please carry on, Manoj. Yeah.
Okay, so they have good experience. Okay, so we will also receive a good experience from candidates as well as from FunFirst. Okay, like our partner in NAPS.
Yes, Manoj.
Hello, I think.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay, but I can't see you because I think there is network error.
Yes,
Hello.
Manoj, we are able to see you. Yeah, please carry on.
Okay. So we have received a good experience from these apprenticeships, the candidates also, as well as from FunPass also. So I think we will gradually increase with the numbers. Okay.
So Manoj, if you can ask some questions like, what are the advantages you are getting by engaging these apprentices?
So basically, the advantage like candidate getting advantage.
Okay.
They are gaining their experience also. Okay, as well as they are learning. So that is the great advantage. Then after a year or so they will receive the certificate also, and it will be help for their future or their better prospects also.
Okay.
So as like a hierarchy, they have started their career from as a trainee. Okay, customer support executive, training support executive, then they move to senior after completion of certain 1 year or 2 years. Then they can move up to the as in support as a team leader, then senior team leader, then operation manager.
Oh,
So
great.
gradually they can what you call, they do the best.
Okay. Thank you, Manoj.
We
Yeah.
have yes, and currently in Mumbai as well as in other centers, we have such roisters employees, those who start their career in the basic. They move level in
Okay.
next 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So accordingly, yes.
So Manoj, you
Tell
mean
me,
to
sir.
say if a person who is joining as an apprentice, within 4 or 5 years, he is able to move upwards. I mean, even becoming a team leader, operation manager, like that, right?
Yes, he can.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great, Manoj. Thanks a lot. Very much. Thank you very much for
Yes.
sharing your experience. And
Thanks.
thank you. And I will invite one of the young apprentice who is doing apprenticeship to talk his experience. I think we are able to see. Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. Please share your name and yeah, share your experience. You're in mute. Yes.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Apprenticeship Wagmare. I did my 12th class.
Little louder.
Sir,
Little louder, Wagmare. Yeah. थोड़ा वॉल्यूम बढ़ाइए. Yes.
Yes. Sir, my name is Prathamesh Wagmare.
Okay.
I did my 12th class in 2016 and joined the embedded degree program.
Okay.
Program from FunFirst and Tata Institute Social Science. The course I opted for all the office automation course. Devised during the entire 3 years course, and a course and I continue with my apprenticeship in multiple companies in the field CCTV installation, hardware and software support companies, hardware and networking, computer hardware and support system. By the 3rd year, I was getting stipend 50,000 and 50,000, and post completed of my BWOC, I got placed in this with salary 18,000, and
Okay.
I have just completed MBA course.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Bagmare. Great. So you did your apprenticeship with a stipend of 15,000 when you did, right, in your 3rd year. And after completing your apprenticeship,
last year, 3rd year.
Okay, 3rd year. Okay. And after completion of your 3rd year, you started getting 18,000 as a stipend.
Yes.
You are working in the same company or different company?
Yes, sir.
You are working in the same company or different company?
No, sir. Different company.
Different company. Okay.
Yes, a
Okay.
different company. Yeah, total installation and solutions.
Okay. So anything you want to share with your friends? There are so many young students, ITIs, diploma, 10th graduates are listening to you. Any good thing, or you want to talk something about apprenticeship in a one line? Do you recommend them to also do apprenticeship or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bagmare. Thank you very much for coming to the screen and sharing your experience. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, dear participants, if you are able to see my screen, you can see there are different support people are available for supporting in case any of the students is interested to do any kind of BHOG program or apprenticeship embedded degree program. You can touch base with any of the university. So it is one is Grantaram Century University, Okay, so Gramtarang is a third-party aggregator. They are collaborating with Centurion University, and then they are offering you some courses. Similarly, we have Medhavi Skills in collaboration with their own university. They are also doing some, degree apprenticeship programs like BBA Retailing and BSc Hospitality Management. We have Team Lead Skill University, who they are offering BSc Automotive, BSc Mechatronics, and BSc Electronics in this apprenticeship embedded mode. And then we have here FunFast Global Skillers. They are tying up with Tata in
Hello, am I audible? Hello, Siddharth, Prashant, can you confirm?
Hello. Yeah, you audible now.
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Satya.
Yeah, I think due to some network issue, I got disconnected. I'm sorry for that. So please, I am sharing my screen once again. Yeah. So as we are talking, we have two different things, NAPS and NATS. So the top one is talking about National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme. The site is apprenticeshipindia.gov.in. You can find the guideline how to register, right? And how to register all, you can find these guidelines. There are also some YouTube video recording about how to register, how to complete your profile in the portal, how to apply for different opportunity. All these YouTube you can watch. Okay. And similarly, for National Apprentice Training Scheme, there is a different portal. Both of them are government only. Okay. And there are guidelines also available. So you can just log in yourself and you can record yourself so that people or the companies who are looking for apprenticeship, they can find you once you register in these portals. Okay. So we will take up some of the questions. Devanjana, if you are there on the screen, can you tell me if there are some questions in YouTube?
Satya, there was a question regarding the salary structure for apprentices I'd seen early on. So if you can talk to them about that.
Okay. So I think as an apprentice, you will be getting a stipend which ranges from 5,000 to 9,000. So as a graduate can earn 9,000 as a stipend, but this is a minimum stipend as government has prescribed. But I know there are companies, even just this Mr. Bagmar was talking about, he was getting a stipend of 15,000 rupees in his third year, right? So the minimum stipend has been given, guidelines has been given by the government, right? But companies can pay much beyond that. That can be 12,000, 15,000, 18,000, 20,000, even more also, based on the company standards and their own internal process. Any more questions?
No, Satya, not so far.
Okay. So fine. So thanks a lot, dear participants, for joining and listening to this program. So our intention is to create awareness about apprenticeship, different schemes among the student community so that they can pursue it, they can take up the opportunities available, right? They can reap the benefits of it. So, and they get themselves job ready, right? They can equip with the different industry relevant skills, right? It is all beneficial for you only. And thank you, Mr. Siddharth, for sharing your time and patience to guide all these participants, taking all of them through the different schemes, right? Different opportunities, and highlighting your different partnership that you have in your company, for the students who are interested. Thank you very much for that, Siddharth. And I thanks my colleagues from Yuva and Apprenticeship Group to be part of this discussion. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.